From track to match, the journey of a single piece of evidence begins. A tire track left in mud, a tire track left in dust, is more than just a mark on the ground. It is a silent witness. It holds a story of a vehicle's presence at a specific place and time. For a forensic investigator, these impressions are a critical link in the chain of evidence. They can connect a suspect's vehicle to a crime scene with remarkable precision. The process is a methodical one. It combines careful observation at the scene with detailed analysis back in the lab. This journey from a simple track to a definitive match relies on science, patience, and an understanding of how tires wear and change over their lifetime. Tire track evidence provides a tangible starting point in many investigations. When a crime occurs, especially in a remote or accessible area, vehicles are often involved. The tracks they leave behind can reveal the type of vehicle, its direction of travel, and even its actions such as sudden braking or acceleration. The work begins at the crime scene, where the evidence is most vulnerable. A tire track is a fragile thing. It can be destroyed by rain, wind, or the simple act of being walked over. The first priority for a crime scene unit is to secure the area and protect these impressions. They establish a perimeter to prevent contamination from foot traffic or other vehicles. The investigator's initial approach is one of careful observation, documenting the location, number, orientation of any tracks found. They search not only on obvious surfaces like dirt paths and muddy shoulders, but also on less apparent ones, such as lawns, carpets, paper lying on the ground. Photography is the first and most critical step in documentation. An investigator will take a series of photographs from different perspectives. Overview shots establish the track's position relative to the broader scene. Finally, close-up, examination quality photographs are taken with a scale for accurate measurement. Lighting is a tool of immense importance during the documentation phase. Oblique lighting reveals minute details by casting shadows that accentuate ridges, grooves, and imperfections. Once the tire track has been thoroughly photographed and documented, the next step is to collect it. For three-dimensional tracks, those left in soft materials like mud, sand, snow, the preferred method is casting. The most common material used for this is dental stone, a gypsum-based powder similar to plaster but much harder and finer. It captures far more detail than standard plaster and produces a strong transportable cast. The casting process requires a delicate touch. First, the investigator may gently clear away loose debris like leaves, twigs. The dental stone powder is mixed with water to a pancake batter consistency. The mixture is poured carefully into the impression, starting from one end so it flows slowly and fills every crevice. A common technique is to pour it onto a spatula held just above the track, which breaks the fall and protects the delicate details. After pouring, the cast must be left to harden. This can take 30 minutes to over an hour depending on conditions. Investigators often scratch their initials, the date, and a case number into the back of the cast before it sets. Once hard, the entire block of earth containing the cast is excavated. Excess soil is cleaned later in the lab. For two-dimensional tracks like a dusty print or an oily print on a garage floor or pavement, casting won't work. Instead, tools like an electrostatic dust lifter are used. The device charges a sheet of black lifting film. Placed over a dusty impression, dust particles transfer to the film. For wet or oily prints, specialized gelatin lifters or adhesive tapes can peel the impression from the surface. These collected prints and casts are carefully packaged and sent to the lab for analysis. In the laboratory, the analysis begins by categorizing the features visible in the collected track. Forensic tire examiners divide these features into two main types: class characteristics and individual characteristics. Class characteristics are features that are shared by a group of items: overall tread design or pattern, the width of the tire, and the noise treatment. Noise treatment refers to the way manufacturers vary the size of the tread blocks around the circumference to reduce driving noise. These class features can help an examiner narrow down the possibilities to a specific brand and model of tire. For example, a tire track might show a distinctive zigzag pattern with 5 circumferential grooves. They might determine that the track was made by a Michelin Defender LTX MS tire of a specific size. This information allows law enforcement to narrow their search to vehicles equipped with that particular type of tire. However, Class characteristics alone cannot link a track to a single specific tire, because thousands or millions of tires were produced with the exact same tread design. The real power of tire track evidence lies in the second category: individual characteristics. These are unique marks or defects that result from the random use and abuse a tire endures over its lifetime. They include stones, nails, or other debris that become embedded in the tread grooves. As a tire wears down, its wear pattern can become uneven, creating another set of distinguishing features. These marks are like scars or fingerprints for a tire. Imagine a cast showing not only the correct pattern, but also a triangular cut and a tiny pebble in specific positions. If an examiner finds that exact same cut and embedded pebble in the same positions, the connection becomes incredibly strong. This is the moment the investigation moves from track to match. The process of comparison is a meticulous side-by-side examination. The first step: search a database. Law enforcement and tire manufacturers maintain extensive databases like the Treadmark database. The examiner inputs class characteristics observed in the scene: pattern, width, number of ribs. The database generates a list of possible makes and models. That gives investigators a crucial lead. Once a suspect vehicle is identified, the examiner obtains a known standard: an exemplar. A proper comparison requires creating a test impression. Method A. The vehicle is driven slowly over a long sheet of paper. The paper can be coated with ink or with fine powder. Method B. The tire is taken off the vehicle, coated with ink, and rolled by hand across a surface. These test impressions capture the full circumference of the tire, showing every tread block and revealing any individual characteristics. With the unknown track and the known test impression in hand, comparison begins. The examiner places them side by side under magnification. First, confirm class characteristics are consistent. Does the tread design match? Is the width the same? If they match, the examiner searches for individual characteristics, painstakingly scanning both impressions. Looking for unique cuts, scrapes, wear patterns. The examiner uses specialized tools like calipers for precise measurements and transparent overlays to superimpose images. They're looking for matches in position, orientation, and size. If enough unique similarities are found, the examiner can conclude the suspect tire made the track. That conclusion is documented in a detailed report. While a positive match can be powerful, it is crucial to understand the limitations and potential for error in tire track analysis. The quality of the evidence is paramount. A track left in loose, dry sand will not hold the same level of detail as one left in dense, wet clay. A partial or smeared impression may only show class characteristics, allowing an examiner to say a tire is consistent with the track, but not that it is a definitive match. It is the responsibility of the forensic examiner to be transparent about the quality of the impression and to qualify their conclusions accordingly. They use a scale of certainty, ranging from exclusion, it was not the tire, to identification, it was the tire, with several levels of likelihood in between. Human error and bias are factors that must be managed. An examiner who knows other evidence implicates a suspect might subconsciously be more inclined to find a match. To mitigate this, many labs have strict quality control protocols, including blind verification. A second examiner repeats the comparison without knowing the first examiner's conclusion. Peer review helps ensure findings are objective, repeatable, and not the result of confirmation bias. It is important to remember that tires change over time. A tire continues to wear down and it can pick up new cuts and lose old ones. A nail present when a track was left might be gone when the vehicle is located. Conversely, a new gash might appear that was not in the original impression. An experienced examiner understands tire wear and can differentiate between a fundamental inconsistency that rules out a match and a simple change that occurred between the crime and evidence collection. Ultimately, when performed correctly by a trained professional, tire track evidence can be exceptionally strong. The conclusion of identification is not made lightly. It is based on finding an agreement of unique and accidental characteristics that is so significant, it defies the possibility of coincidence. While most powerful when used with other evidence, a clear tire track match can provide the crucial link that places a vehicle, and by extension its driver, at the scene of a crime. It is a testament to how the most ordinary objects can tell the most extraordinary stories. Well, that's the strength and the caveats.